So I bought an action camera. Hey you guys, welcome back to our channel, the #1 place for people who love design, art and all things creative. You are watching DMB's channel, my name is Laszlo and I do brand illustration and graphic design. This video is going to be a technology heavy one, obviously, as I am about to unbox, review and give you my honest opinions on the AKASO V50x budget action camera, which is being advertised and talked about online as the best action camera under $100. Now I've been on the market for one of these little guys for a while now, and after doing months and months of research on the topic, I thought I would summarize all my findings in this video. As someone who is not exactly a videography and camera expert, just a guy with casual interest in tech and making occasional YouTube videos, as I thought most of you would be able to relate to all these questions that I had before buying. Are these budget action cameras any good? How do they compare with the big dogs of the field, the GoPros, the DJI Osmos, the Insta360s? Generally speaking, are these GoPro alternatives worth it? Well, let's talk about it, but first things first, let me show you what's in the box. When you open up the package, you will find an array of little bits and bobs, accessories on top of the camera itself. It comes in a waterproof case to start with, really nice touch if you ask me. Then as you open up the side of the box, you will find a Bluetooth remote control, 10 different camera mounts, some bandages, tethers and cables, a battery charger and not one but two batteries. Now after the initial struggle of finding out how on earth do you get the waterproof case off the box, you can open it up and see this little piece of wonder. How comprehensive this package is something I was very much intrigued by, and I think it played a major part in my decision why I ended up buying this. By the way, this video is not sponsored, it's not part of any sort of hype campaign. I bought this with my own money and I'm telling you my own honest opinions here. I promise! The thing is, action cameras, generally speaking, are getting pretty affordable these days, right? Even the market-leading products you can get for about £300, maybe £400, which is, while obviously significantly more than what you pay for this one, they are not crazy expensive either. Well, unless you need the full package like this. The thing is, once you add up the value of all the accessories that this little AKASO came with, and try to get, let's say, the GoPro equivalent of everything, all the little mounts and cables and extra chargers and whatnot, the price can add up really quickly. I have done the math, so you don't have to. Since the GoPro, when you buy it, comes with pretty much nothing included. Not even a tripod mount, mind you. To assemble an accessory pack resembling AKASO's offer, you are going to have to drop around £600, maybe even £700 for it. And yes, the GoPro gives you a microSD card for free, which is something AKASO doesn't do, so you need to buy this separately. And also, technically speaking, the GoPro doesn't need a waterproof case anymore. Still, I think asking for that much money just so you can turn the blimmin' thing on and use it the way it was meant to be used is not the kind of business practice that I want to endorse. Customer service and the value of the money I'm dropping for something is really important, to me at least. Okay, enough of all this talking, let's fire this baby up, take it outside and see how it performs. Come! Now obviously we need to talk about the quality of the recording itself, in order to find out why the big companies are charging what they are charging. I mean, yes, of course, if you buy the GoPro or a DJI product, they will provide higher quality footage than this thing, and YouTube is filled with those kind of comparison videos for the interested. And that's where the higher prices are being justified for some people. The question is the quality 6 or 7 times better on these premium devices, just like their price tags are suggesting? Well, that very heavily depends on you and your specific needs. You know, I wasn't planning to overspend on this thing because I keep hearing stories about people who bought the latest and greatest gear, played with it for a couple months and then eventually realized that they don't exactly live that lifestyle that would justify spending all that money on an action camera gear. Of course, I can only speak for myself, and if you happen to be a mountain biking, scuba diving, quad riding, daredevil of a person, then yeah, maybe you will get great use out of a more expensive action camera. But if you're anything like me, just an enthusiastic beginner looking for their first action camera to play around with and test the waters with, literally, then I think something like this is worth considering. Now, looking back at all this footage, I feel like, all in all, my general first impressions are positive about this camera, and I'm pretty happy with my purchase. It wouldn't be fair to only talk about the good stuff, so let's have a look at the negatives. Let's talk about what you're giving up here. Now, I think it goes without saying, but action cameras tend to not perform well indoors. But I thought, just for a laugh, let's try out how that would look. So I'm switching from our main camera footage to the AKASO now. I mean, of course, there is an obvious, significant drop in quality, but then again, that is expected, as these things are just not made for this kind of filming, really. And as a side note, I would just let you know that even the premium devices, the big action cameras, can't really provide decent enough footage indoors. So yeah, don't expect miracles. Another expected negative is the microphone. Again, this is something that is not specific to this brand per se, it's just action cameras in general don't really record nice sound without an external mic. It's just not a thing. And the biggest flaw that is specific to the AKASO V50x for me is the available frame rates that you can record at. This camera, once you put up the quality to 4K, which looking back at the footage is pretty much the only decent enough recording quality here, at 4K this thing can only record 30 frames per second. Now, if you're camera savvy, you know exactly why this is a drawback. If you aren't, well, all you really need to know is the higher your frame rate is, the better your footage will look if you're planning to do some slow motion shots. Travel vlogs, B-rolls, any outside footage can look pretty epic if you slow it down. And while premium devices like the GoPro Hero 10 are capable of recording at 120 frames per second at 4K, this little AKASO can't do that. Of course, you can try smooth things out in post-production and create some fake slow-mo shots per se. Bottom line is that will never look as sharp, smooth and dynamic as, let's say, the GoPro's footage. Now, for some people, I believe this could be a deal breaker. And yeah, I gotta admit, even my heart aches a little bit about this. But again, the thing is, and I feel like I cannot stress this enough, this was only £100. So to summarize, is the AKASO V50x the best thing that money can buy? No, not at all. But is it worth buying for the price they are asking for it? Yeah, absolutely. Of course, I just got this thing. I mean, you watched me unbox it, so this wasn't a very comprehensive review, but more of a first impressions kind of thing. So if you guys want to see a more in-depth video from me using this camera down the line, well, let me know and I'll do it. And while you are still here, please consider joining our creative crew. I feel like I gotta apologize to our regulars here, who are not that used to tech review videos from us, because our main focus tends to be graphic design and illustration, interior architecture, design and decor, and all things in between. But every now and then it's fun to steer away and try doing something else with our content. I hope that's okay. Leave a like to help us reach even more people with this channel, and I'll hope to see you this time next week with some other cool creative stuff, okay? See ya!